What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Guys, today we are hopping right back into the series that we started, taking a look at Call of the Dead, Black Ops 1. Guys, if you haven't seen the first, 7 episodes of this series, I made a playlist on my channel. Go check those out. Make sure to leave a like on this episode if you guys like zombies content. Let's take a look at this, guys. Black Ops 1
Every
Call of the
last-gen
Dead.
zombies map up to Black Ops 3 has been remastered, besides 5 of them. You have the 4 Victus maps, Transit, Nuketown, Die Rise, and Buried, and you have an outlier, which is Call of the Dead. It makes sense for the Victus maps to not have been remastered yet, because collectively they tell their own story with their own characters, and it deviates from the traditional Ether storyline. But Call of the Dead is interesting because Call of the Dead is part of the Ether storyline. Most of, if not all of these maps are expected to be remastered with Black Ops 4 or sometime in the future, so this video may age poorly, but regardless.
Needless to say, they did not remaster this, but they did, in fact, reimagine it in Black Ops 4, as you guys already know, with Tog, Dara, and Toten. But we do have a remaster available to us now in the Steam Workshop, which is, guys, so good. So good.
Regardless, as it is now, and even in the future, I think it's safe to say that Call of the Dead is a fucking legend. It's the one Ether map that got left behind on last gen for what I'm guessing has to do with complications of repaying and re-recording all the celebrity lines. Regardless, Call of the Dead, at least as of recording this video, hasn't been remastered, and that's interesting to me because Call of the Dead is my favorite Black Ops 1 map and is in my top 3 favorite maps of all time. So today, we're going to analyze Call of the Dead, what it did right, what it did wrong, and why it stands out as one of the most unique maps in Call of Duty Zombies history. Every Sunday night, I do this with a Treyarch Zombies map, so definitely hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification.
Yeah, guys, I say it in every video. Make sure to go check out Tim's channel where these videos come from. Because, again, these are old videos, but he did spend a lot of time making these videos. So I want to make sure that on every single one of these, he deserves that, his respective credit on these videos because they are his. We're just reacting to them. But yeah, make sure to check out Tim's channel. Consider subscribing over here as well. We are a zombies channel as well. It's not all reaction content, but right now that's what we're doing because we're taking a break from gameplay. But yeah, man,
don't miss them.
Make sure to check out
further
Tim's
ado,
channel.
George Romero directed the classic and iconic
there it is, Night of the Living Dead.
A movie that essentially created the modern day zombies phenomenon. He is the godfather of zombies. Romero was doing some research regarding World War II before the film. While doing so, he unearthed Group 935 documents, including their research and experiments with Element 115, resurrecting the dead, which naturally raised a brow. Turns out that one of these Element 115 deposits lies in the midst of a frozen Siberian outpost at the Tunguska River. Fast forward a bit to the present in 2011 when Romero decides to direct a film exploring the outpost called Call of the Dead. The cast consisted of Sarah Michelle Gellar, most notable for her role as Buffy in Buffy the Vampire.
Oh my god, you know what's funny about this is about Buffy the Vampire Slayer is I don't know if you guys have ever seen the show Big Bang Theory, but if you have seen the show Big Bang Theory, we were just watching it last night. Me and my wife were watching the last episode last night. We've seen it a few times. But Buffy the Vampire Slayer is in that episode, which is crazy that we're talking about it right now, the next day.
Our Slayer. Danny Trejo, famous for his role in Machete. Robert Englund, most notable for his role as Freddy Krueger in Nightmare on Elm Street. And Michael Rooker as Merle from
Merle from Walking Dead. Let's go. That's my favorite TV show of all time is The Walking Dead.
In the film, the group's boat crashes and are forced to fight off the undead, only for the actual Element 115 zombies to rise from the frozen hard ground. The movie quickly becomes a reality after the zombies kidnap Romero and turn him into a zombie. The celebrity cast fights the undead in a cold, deadly blizzard. As the crew fights for their very lives, they stumble across a bunker containing the 4 Ultimus characters, Richtofen, Dempsey, Takio, and Nikolai. Richtofen traveled into the future to this very location to retrieve the Golden Rod, aka the Vril device, but unfortunately
we
can't.
See that Golden Rod so many times in the following maps. Is this the first map that it appears? I think it is. I think Call of the Dead is the first map that what is it called? The Vril device? I think it's the first map that it actually appears.
So he asked the characters, he asked the celebrities to do it for him. By completing this Easter egg, you retrieve the Golden Rod, give it to the characters, and they travel back in time. Retrieving the Vril device is, of course, one of several steps for Richtofen's grand scheme. This, paired with a focusing stone, would allow Richtofen to swap souls with Samantha in Moon. The story of Call of the Dead is super interesting and is, without a doubt, one of the most unique ones. Unlike many zombies maps that take place far in the past,
Take a celebrity cast where the story is they're recording a movie or doing a movie. But then like some actual shit goes down.
30s, 40s.
That's
during the
cool. That's
II
cool.
Era. This map takes place in modern times. The map takes place in 2012 when the map was released. And paired with the modern time period would be modern celebrities voiced by themselves that are still famous to this day. It's the only map that had celebrities that voiced themselves, and was
like, you can have any opinion you want about Call of the Dead, but I think we can all come to the consensus together that this concept for like the casting, story, and the gameplay is just so unique for Call of the Dead. So
only
cool.
Black Ops 1 map, aside from 5, that had a different crew other than the Ultimus crew. This map is unique because instead of taking place during World War II at another
different crews besides our
facility,
OG4,
it takes place now. With
and then when we come back to the OG4
characters,
characters, it just feels like home again.
Track with Avenged Sevenfold. Instead of us going into the past to fight zombies, the zombies came to us
Shout out
in the
Avenged
present, which was
Sevenfold for
unique
these great
during
Easter egg
BO1.
songs in
BO2
the series.
would later be done with Green Run, but this map was the epitome of a modern zombies map. And the story itself is fascinating. You have essentially the creator of zombies, George Romero, directing a film regarding Group 935's research.
Thank you, George.
You have the godfather of zombies himself creating a film about Element 115. Only for the whole film to go to shit and turn into a real zombie outbreak.
Yes.
It is absolutely insane that the creator of zombies, pretty much the only reason why we even have Call of Duty Zombies, is in a map. I don't think people think about that too much. I think it's underappreciated.
100% underappreciated. I mean, how cool is it to have the father of zombies in our beloved game? That's cool as fuck.
Fortunately, George Romero passed away a few years ago, but when the map was created, he was alive and voicing his own lines. It's too meta for me. I can't handle it. They made a zombies movie that turned from fiction to reality just like that. I mean, the characters were acting, shooting fake bullets at fake zombies.
Yeah, you don't
And then all of a sudden, they were shooting real zombies with real fucking guns. I can't make this shit up. In contrast to other maps, Call of the Dead plays a fairly small role in the zombie storyline. It bears significance, don't get me wrong. The Vril device is integral for the progression of the Ultimate story. But when you really think about it, the Vril device could have been in a number of locations. It just so happens to be here. And the cast, although very interesting being celebrities, aren't reoccurring. This is the only map they appear in, so there's that. Call of the Dead is important, but not very. Which I don't think is the reason why it wasn't remastered, but is one of the factors. Regardless of its
it's just a cool,
Call of the Dead story
map
is
that they probably just wanted to try some new stuff on. And yeah, like I said, there's a remaster finally available in the Steam Workshop, and it is so good. We might post some gameplay of that, actually. I know I said I'm going to post some gameplay of 5. I still want to do that. I think we're going to take a look at that Call of the Dead remaster too. Maybe just like do like a quick round 20 or something. One of the more
captivating ones.
Something
and the Easter
casual
egg to tag
like
along
that.
with it is amazing. It is the second main Easter egg ever created right below Ascension and can be done either solo or co-op, which was great. The Easter egg, in my opinion, is definitely one of the better ones and is a perfect difficaty. It leans more
I've
towards
never done the Call of the Dead Easter egg,
but I think Easter eggs should. I really don't appreciate.
I wonder if the Easter egg is even available in that Steam remaster. That'd be cool if it was. If it is, maybe that could be our gameplay.
Going on these wild goose chases to collect items, just to collect items, and doing all of these long and strenuous processes that I don't understand. What I do appreciate is a fairly simple Easter egg that does take some time, but can be mastered quite easily. Ties in not only with the core gameplay, but the story, and makes it clear, which is something that older maps in general did, especially Call of the Dead. On solo, it's as simple as turning on the power, deactivating the generators, activating the Morse code, and getting the 2 wonder weapons out of the box. Instead of appealing to the 5% of people who enjoy calculating the densities of particles on a map to do Easter eggs nowadays, they went simple, they appealed to the casual, and that was great. And appropriately, on co-op, they would increase the difficulty of the Easter egg by adding in a couple more steps. The dial step, the vodka step, activating the foghorns and the radios, etc. Call of the Dead offers some of the best rewards for completing the Easter egg, both in terms of achievements and in-game value. You receive a free Death Machine drop, which actually is a Wonder Wop. This is very important for high rounds on Call of the Dead, which I will get to in a little bit. The story of this map and the Easter egg that tags along with it is simply remarkable. Also, the atmosphere is fantastic. A lot of the older maps are these barren, bland, gray maps, but Call of the Dead definitely switched things up and was a unique atmosphere. It was
I don't know about that one. He said that our maps before were gray and bland, which I agree. And that Call of the Dead switched it up? I don't know. To me, this might just be me, but I think I could speak for some of us here. To me, Call of the Dead is one of the grayest maps we've had. I mean, I'm sure he'll talk about it with the fog and everything, but like, this map is gray.
It's a snowy map.
It's gray.
Feels like we got a lot of snowy maps nowadays, but this was the first one. It's bright blue and gave us a new environment to fight zombies in. And also the feeling of being in the middle.
I don't know about, I mean, look at this. Just look at this little screen capture right here. Do you see any bright blue? I see a lot of gray. A lot of gray palette going on here. This could easily right here be like a good looking black and white like movie. Except for that like orange window over there on the right side, but yeah.
Full of absolutely fucking nowhere in the middle of a blizzard is a little bit petrifying. Admittedly, the fog that tags along with this blizzard can prove difficult for seeing across the map, which is annoying, don't get me wrong.
Okay, I knew he'd talk about the fog at some point, but I think that maybe the aesthetic of the map, it fits. I mean, I can't talk too much crap on it. It's still gray, boring, but with it being where it is location-wise and like the weather and stuff, the cold, I think it really sets the atmosphere and the tone for the map well, so I think that it works. It works on this map.
And the hypothermia-inducing water can bite you in the ass sometimes, but at least it serves a purpose to cool down George when he's angry. And at least it's relevant to the environment instead of Treyarch plopping some random, irrelevant nuisance in the middle of the map to piss you off.
Yes, it all makes sense. It all makes sense to be there, and that's kind of what I was just...
Nuisance to piss you off. Oh, there he is. No, I'm kidding. George Romero isn't an irrelevant nuisance, but he is a nuisance. Earlier, George got abducted and was turned into a zombie, but he's much stronger than the traditional zombie, containing 250,000 HP per player, which means up to 4 players. He can have up to 1 million HP. George meticulously shuffled around the entire map, tracking you the entire game, attempting to hit you with his giant light post. If he hits you, he gets pissed off. If you hit him, he gets pissed off. You can cool him down by leading him into the water, but ultimately, he is unavoidable. I like the concept of George Romero, but I'm not quite sure what Treyarch was going for by adding him in the map.
So I like the concept of George. I do. I think it was a great addition in the sense that it keeps the player moving. It kind of lures you away from camping in one spot the entire game, which is what a lot of players at the time, at least, were kind of used to, at least until like Ascension. But like, I think that George was a great addition, but to have him spawn in every single round is a bit ridiculous. I remember the Smith Plays saying one time in his Call of the Dead retrospective, actually, that he thought it would be a cool idea for that when you kill George the first time, for the fog to go away. And then after that, because you get a free perk from him, and then after that, to be able to spawn him in like on demand, like whenever you want to spawn him in, whether it be like in the next 5 rounds or whatever, to spawn him in if you want to take advantage of that free perk again. Granted, you'd have to kill him again, but yeah, I think that'd be cool.
My theory is, after some relatively easy maps like Kino and Ascension, they wanted to add an extra challenge because training with a Thunder Gun was simply too easy. They wanted the player to have something constantly on their mind. A presence that would never, ever go away.
Yes, because camping with the Thunder Gun was too easy.
If that was their goal, they definitely succeeded. And if they wanted people to stop camping, well, they succeeded with that too, because you cannot camp on this map. Regardless of what the intent was, George Romero is, without a doubt, the most irritating boss in COD Zombies history. It's not even close. Obviously, rest in peace, George Romero. Not trying to disrespect you as a person, but as a boss in COD Zombies, get the fuck out of here. The easiest way to get rid of George is to pack a punch your scavenger and put him down. But I say put him down because he gets back up. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again. No matter how many times you kill him, he gets back up. You can even send him away every single round with the upgraded BR11 as well. You can constantly send him away, but he never actually dies. Granted, he rewards you very nicely for killing him with a free perk drop and a free Wonder Waff drop if you completed the Easter egg, if not just a regular death machine. Which, by the way, gives you an incentive to do the Easter egg since you get the Wonder Waff drop if you do. But still, no matter how much I try to justify it in my head, every time I play this map, George is always
But you don't get to keep the Wonder Waff, right? Because I think if I remember correctly, you like kill him and you pick up the Wonder Waff, but the Wonder Waff only lasts the amount of time that a death machine would, and then it goes away. right? I mean, so like,
oddly enough, George Romero makes Call of the Dead significantly harder and a little bit easier at the same time. His presence, especially when angry, makes the map much harder, but the ability to get all the perks from him and get the Wonder Waff from him makes the map somewhat easier. Obtaining the Wonder Waff in the higher rounds is a huge relief, because it's the only wonder weapon on this map with infinite damage. The Scavenger is great up about until round 40 when it completely drops off, and is borderline useless without PhD Flopper. The VR-11 isn't great in general. It has next to no ammo and causes a temporary distraction by turning the zombies into a CIA agent. That's great. I mean, when upgrading, you can shoot George with it and temporarily send him away, and oddly enough, on co-op, you can shoot your teammate with a VR-11 and give them an insta-kill and a zombie blood, but it's still not great in practicality. The VR-11 is essential for completing
it's not worth using one of your weapon slots for that piece of
but otherwise, I wouldn't even have that weapon on this map. So really what you're left with on the higher rounds is an ineffective Scavenger, so the Wonder Waff having infinite damage really helps out. But even with the Wonder Waff, it's temporary. The map is super difficult because of the lackluster wonder weapons.
And there's no traps. If I remember correctly, there's no traps on this map. So like, high rounding is ridiculous on Call of the Dead.
Wonder weapons are fun to use, they're innovative and unique, but because they perform so poorly on the higher rounds, Call of the Dead is without a doubt one of the hardest maps ever. You don't have any traps or any other practical weapons that have infinite damage. The higher rounds on this map are all about scrounging for every possible way to kill the zombies. It is very difficult. Not to mention, there is only one singular reliable training area right below the lighthouse. Other than that, it's pretty difficult to navigate around the map. The map is difficult, but difficult in a very different way than most zombies maps. A lot of zombies maps are difficult because they're close quarters or something in the design itself, but Call of the Dead is difficult because
what happened to this gameplay? Is it my end or is it the recording? It's the recording. Wow. Look at how bad it is.
High rounds on this map are unique. Everything about this map is unique. The environment, the story and the Easter egg, the celebrity
cast. That's another thing, though. I mean, like, we take into consideration that this map is 11 years old now, I think. I mean, it looks good for the time, like, in retrospect, as we're sitting here looking at it, but, like, damn, that like the pixels and stuff. I mean, look at that ass, look at that ass, look at that ass.
The two new wonder weapons and the new perk, Deadshot Dash. While every other BO1 map was zigging, this map zagged. It went in a completely different direction and turned zombies on its head. The map just feels and plays different than any other map, and it's the only Ether map that didn't get remastered. And for that, Call of
Tim. Yet. At the time. Granted, it hasn't officially been remastered by Treyarch.
Dead is sort of the legend of Black Ops 1 and last-gen zombies in general. Again, it will likely get remastered, and this video may age poorly because of that. But even if it does, Call of the Dead is a legend. This map did a very good job of separating itself from the pack and standing out and being a great, unique map. It isn't without its flaws. Navigating around the map can be difficult. George Romero is a giant pain in the ass. The water, the fog, etc. I understand why people may not like this map, but Call of the Dead is my third favorite map of all time. And of course, what's an analysis video without reminiscing of all the memories I had on this map?
Very true.
Jesus Christ, I've been playing this map since I was 11 years old. Constantly knifing George to piss him off. Ziplining around the map and running up and down the lighthouse having George chase me. Absolutely demolishing the zombies with the Scavenger. I think I've done this Easter egg 2 dozen.
Also, I mean, can't the zombies climb up this zip line? I mean, I think that Call of the Dead was a great example of how Treyarch, at least at the time, went sort of above and beyond for our community with, like, just the smallest of details. Zombies climbing up the zipline. I mean, that shit's terrifying, but
sometimes that's how much I enjoy it.
It was cool.
And honestly, guys, I hope you enjoyed this map and this video specifically.
Obviously.
I did. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe. Don't miss the next episode. Like I said, Twitter link in the description.
Go check out Tim's channel, guys. That's it for Call of the Dead. Again, I will say it over and over. He spent a lot of time on these videos. Make sure you give him that credit. And also, consider subscribing over here, guys, for we're well on our way to 100 subscribers. I mean, we've gotten so many new subscribers in just the last couple weeks that I've lost count. So if you want to be a part of the fam bam, hit that subscribe button. Make sure to leave a like on the video so it gets out there in the algorithm and stuff. But thank you for tuning in today, guys. Peace out, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.